it goes right up against like car wash level vacuum sucking power. When these are in place, you have to take them out in order, well, or you have to kind of work through them in order to undo these latches.
Hey, what's happening? Barnaby here. So you want to know more about the Channellock 5-gallon wet dry vac? Well, I can tell you that it's got 21 feet of hose, 6 attachments, and a remote control on the end of the wand. How do I know that? Eric told me all about it because he got to use this machine at home, and so we're going to talk to him about performance, design, quality, and value of this vacuum. But first, let's talk about you. What do you do professionally?
I work for an organization called Life International. We multiply life-giving ministries in countries around the world. So we assist people. We have partners that run orphanages and maternity homes for pregnant women that don't have anywhere to live. Provide alternatives to abortion for women that are unexpectedly pregnant.
Cool. All right. Well, I imagine when you get home after these extended trips abroad, you probably have a lot of dust and schmutz to pick up around the house. So let's talk about where you put this and what you used it for.
I used it for a ton of stuff in and around my garage, in the front, in the cars, driveway, and so on. I installed it in my garage. It ran great.
When you say installed, what does that mean?
It comes with a bracket that is on the wall in my garage, and this little hook here just sits right up on the bracket.
Okay, and so you could take it off and carry it around if you want.
Yeah, it's actually rather light. 20-ish pounds, maybe.
Okay, cool.
Decent.
So as far as just picking stuff up, what sort of materials were you picking up?
Crayons, rocks, dust, sand, all the junk that was on the floor in my garage. And then when I cleaned out my car, seriously, it was like Cheerios and Skittles and crayons, all the crap from my kids. So I picked up, seriously, it picked up rocks. I mean, it did a great job.
Okay, so no problems with the performance?
No, I mean, it goes right up against like car wash level vacuum sucking power. It's
nice.
Really great.
Okay, so let's talk about the design because there's a lot going on here.
Yeah, the design overall is really great. I mean, it's really convenient. Everything has, onboard storage for all of, like, everything you see here. These are all the components except for the hoses, so everything has its own little spot.
Yeah, and is it all put in a place where it doesn't get in the way of itself?
Everything is pretty convenient. Everything mostly here is at the top. The one thing that I noticed that's a little bit of a disadvantage is in order to take the unit off to empty the bin, there are latches here on the sides, and when these are in place, you have to take them out in order, well, or you have to kind of work through them in order to undo these latches. But when it's mounted, these go on a little spot on the bracket.
Okay,
on the wall.
So I guess if it's mounted, this getting to this latch is not a problem.
Yeah, and honestly, I probably wouldn't take these around with me too much because I would take it into the driveway to do the cars. So these might just stay on the wall anyway. Yeah,
because I mean, actually, as I think about this, you'll have to probably take it off the wall to empty it because you take the top off, but then you still got to dump it, right?
Yes. And the top is what is hooked onto the bracket.
All right, so let's talk about this space age looking thing. What's that?
On the website, I think they call it a noise diffuser, but I didn't find that it made much of a difference for sound, but what I did find that it's a baffle for the air. So when this is off, it's just a solid jet of exhaust here. And when it's on, it just diffuses it. Obviously, it stops it here and it just goes out to the side, so it's not as much of a spray of air.
Okay, let's talk about the noise factor, and I guess couple that with the remote control. Just fire it up and explain both of them.
Well, you've got two positions, two on positions, off in the center, and if you flip it over here, it'll turn it on so that it's running. Flip it over here, it's remote on, and then it's got a button right on the wand.
Yeah, that's no louder than a house vacuum.
No, it's really nice. And this is actually, there's a little, like a standard battery in here. So this can be attached to either hose and it still runs. It's not wired in any way to the hose.
Yeah, I'm guessing by the size of this and the picture right here, it's probably a AA, right? Or something of that configuration, nothing exotic.
And it does have, I didn't use this very much, but it does have like a slider here that allows you to diffuse the suction a little bit.
Right, if you want to get ultra delicate.
Yes.
Interesting. All right, so then let's talk about your perception. Well, actually, no, quickly. Wet dry vac, right?
Yes.
So let's talk about how it all works that way.
5-gallon capacity, but again, you just flip these latches up, lift this off, and it's got a quick little release here on the bottom.
It's a pretty good sized filter.
Yeah, and it really does a good job of capturing like the fine particles. It's a really good filter, and then this slips on for wet use.
Okay. Well then, let's talk about the quality of it then, because you've taken it apart, put it back together as far as all the demonstration or whatever, and you've used it in your garage seemingly endlessly. What's your thought about it holding up?
Well, my first impression, with the Channellock name is one of quality. I have an old pair of Channellock pliers that my father gave me or something. They're probably decades old, so the name has really good reputation. But my perception of the quality is that it's great. Everything is really solid, heavy-duty plastic. The handle is thick and corrugated. It's really well put together. It's a nice unit.
Okay, then let's talk about the buy proposition now. As neighbors come in and just go, man, you've been doing a lot of vacuuming, right?
Absolutely.
Should I buy one of these? What would you tell them?
I wouldn't have any hesitation recommending it. It's top notch, top quality, and the value I think is really high for the price.
Yeah, all right, well, it's good to know before you make a purchase, and that's why you came to toolselect.com. Real stats, real people, to make it real easy to figure out of this big old world of vacuums, which one might be right for you.
It goes right up against like car wash level vacuum sucking power. When these are in place, you have to take them out in order, or you have to kind of work through them in order to undo these latches.
Hey, what's happening? Barnaby here. So you want to know more about the Channellock 5-gallon wet dry vac? Well, I can tell you that it's got 21 feet of hose, 6 attachments, and a remote control on the end of the wand. How do I know that? Eric told me all about it because he got to use this machine at home, and so we're going to talk to him about performance, design, quality.